To help you become more familiar with Adobe Illustrator, let's take a tour. To start, you'll open an Illustrator document. With Illustrator CC Open, you can open a file by choosing File in the menus above, Open. In the Open dialog box, navigate to a file you have, or you can open this practice file from the downloadable practice files for this tutorial. Then click Open. After opening a document, you'll usually want to make sure. To help you become more familiar with Adobe Illustrator, let's take a tour. To start, you'll open an Illustrator document. With Illustrator CC Open, you can open a file by choosing File in the menus above. To help you become more familiar with Adobe Illustrator, let's take a tour. To start, you'll open an Illustrator document. With Illustrator CC Open, you can open a file by choosing File in the menus above, Open. In the Open dialog box, navigate to a file you have, or you can open this practice file from the downloadable practice files for this tutorial. Then click Open. After opening a document, you'll usually want to make sure that you can see all of the document content. To do that, choose View, Fit All in Window. With a file open, you'll see the Illustrator workspace. Now, the workspace is made up of an open document in the document window you see here, the menus above, the application bar below the menus, and on Windows, the menus are in the application bar, the Tools panel on the left, and finally, docked panels like the Properties panel you see here on the right. As you explore in Illustrator, you'll find that you can move parts of this workspace to have things you use all the time easily accessible, or maybe to show more of the artwork you're working on and fewer tools and panels. So let's explore the pieces that make up the workspace. In the Tools panel on the left, you'll see tools you can use to create and edit your artwork. Some of the tools have a little arrow in the corner, which means there are more tools you can choose from. For instance, press and hold on the rectangle tool here to show more tools you can choose from. Click to select the ellipse tool, and notice that the menu of tools is now hidden, and the ellipse tool is selected. Come back to the top of the Tools panel and click to select this Selection tool. Now, this is a tool you'll use a lot to do things like select and move content. Come out to the document and click in this rectangle to select it. Now, suppose you want to change the color of this rectangle. If you look in the Properties panel to the right of the document, you'll see options available for the content you select, like its position and size, appearance properties like the fill color here. Let's try changing the color of this object. So click the fill color and select another color to fill it with. You can then press Escape to hide the color panel. You'll also see some quick actions down here. These options change depending on what's selected. You can even click underline words like stroke to see even more options. You can then click away from the panel to hide it. Now, the Properties panel is docked on the right side over here with a few other panels called the Layers and Libraries panels. If you want to see the layers or how the content in the document is ordered, for instance, you can click the Layers panel tab at the top to show the Layers panel. To show the Properties panel again, click on the Properties panel tab. If you find that you need more space in the document window to work on your document, you can click the arrow at the top of the dock panels to collapse them. This will give you a little more space to work. To show the panels again, you can click on a panel name to show the panel, and then click on the tab or panel name to collapse it, or you can click the arrow at the top of the dock panels again to show them all. Now, there are actually a lot of panels in Illustrator for you to explore. Each contains different options, and they can be opened from the Window menu up here. Any panel that has a check mark is open and currently showing. You can see the Properties panel has a check mark. Let's open another panel. So choose Align to open the Align panel group. A group is a series of, in this case, 3 panels, and you can see each panel has a separate tab. This group is called Free Floating because it's not docked with the other default panels on the right. You can move them around by dragging the title bar at the top. You can also dock one or more of these panels on the left or right side of the workspace by dragging it into place. So let's dock the Align panel on the right. Drag the Align panel by the tab onto the panel tab names docked on the right. When a blue highlight appears in the Properties panel group here, release the mouse button. The panel is now added to the group. To close the remaining panels left in the group, click the X in the corner. Now, at some point, as you open, close, and rearrange a lot of these panels, you may want to reset them to their original locations. To do this, you can reset the entire workspace. In the application bar above the document, click Essentials and choose Reset Essentials to put all of the panels back to their default locations. Now, if you see something else chosen in this menu, choose Essentials first, and then choose Reset Essentials. As a last step, you're finished with this practice file, so you can close it by coming up to the menu bar and choosing File, Close, without saving. Now that you're familiar with the Illustrator workspace and how to manage panels, going forward you'll be able to more easily organize panels in a way that complements your working style.